Hello everyone, my name is Tom Whalen. I am a Senior Systems Engineer with EMC. And today I'm going to talk to you guys about a app that I discovered on the App Store that we have from EMC called EMC Architect. Systems engineer, whether you're an EMC engineer or some other engineer from another manufacturer, diagramming is something that is fun to do, but it takes a lot of time. It's very, very tedious. If you don't do them well, then they don't represent the messaging and the architecture that you're trying to really convey. So diagrams have become incredibly important, but also are difficult to put time into to really do well. But I found an app that we have that actually helps us with that quite a bit, and I was surprised to find it, and I wanted to take some time and give you guys a bit of a tour of it. So it's called EMC Architect. So EMC Architect is a designer tool that allows us to essentially take both pre-built content that is built into the app as well as use case content that are built into the app in order to create compelling looking diagrams for your customers. This is a diagram that I had created a little bit earlier. It's just one that is pre-built, that is kind of in the tool that I'll show you in just a second. It gives us the ability to really articulate infrastructures with a lot of clarity, and using traditional pictures that we see in tools such as Visio to really show an infrastructure as we're working through that with our customer base. In this case, I'm going to get rid of this so we can kind of look at one from the start. So I'm going to just put this in a trash can, and I'm going to clear this drawing. So as you see, you have a blank slate when you initially start. When you pull up a drawing for the first time, it comes up with a blank slate. And on the upper left-hand corner, we have just an EMC Architect and then the drawing number and the date, but that can be anything you want. You can tap on this and you can really change this to be whatever you want. You can have it to be the customer's name, your name, whatever kind of title blocking process you want to do. It's up to you. At the upper right-hand corner, though, you'll see the pencil, you'll see a little computer screen, you'll see something that kind of looks like a computer screen on top of another computer screen. You'll see the up arrow and then the little cog there. So traditionally the cog is, some settings. There's really not any settings in here. It's really just about help and contact and about the app. The up arrow allows you to take whatever you're doing on the screen and share it either via email, obviously Facebook connectivity, Twitter if you want to tweet it out. You can also build templates. So if you have kind of a common design that you want to have, maybe you have a common title block that you want all of your drawings to have, you can create that title block as a blank drawing with just that piece of it and then save it as a template. And then anything you build to start moving forward, you can select the template and then build on top of the template for an actual drawing. So you can really kind of create some cohesiveness with your drawings as you do them. You can also do just traditional screenshots. But we'll go to the pencil first and then talk about the other things. So the pencil is just what it is. It's a pencil that allows you to draw randomly across the screen. So you have varying colors, and basically whatever the highlighted color is kind of what you get. So we'll pick blue and we'll pick the line drawing, and you'll see I draw a blue line, nothing fancy there. It's free form, so I can do whatever I want with it, I can also pick different line types and also change their colors. So if I want to create a dotted line, I can certainly do that as well. I can also erase things. So if I don't like what I have there on the screen, I can simply hit the erase icon and then just basically just swipe the screen and erase anything I have put up here. Pretty simple. I can also then add text. So if I want to create a text box, I just simply pick the T icon and then just type text, whatever I want to type in. You notice that I spaced out twice and it put a period in there, so it has some degree of punctuation capability in it. It doesn't do any kind of spell checking, so you have to make sure you spell your stuff right. But it does give you comments, so you actually you can actually change something if you want to be that way. Change it to some other word. It does have some degrees of intelligence behind that. But if you put a letter in there or words in there and then tap that again, You can drag it around on your screen simply by touching it with your finger and holding your finger down to the screen and just move it around at will. You can also then pinch the letters and make the text pretty big. That's about as big as it gets. I can't pinch out any further. And pinching it back in small, I think that's about as small as I can get it. That's about as small as you can get it. So quite a bit of variation in text size and things like that. So, and then to get rid of that, you simply just click on the X next to it and it gets rid of that. So we're going to delete all this other stuff just by clearing the trash can. So we'll talk about, though, the next step, we'll talk about the computer screen. So the computer screen area is really all of the various icons and symbols and things like that you can put into your drawing. So I'm not going to go across through every one of them, but I'll show you some of the highlighted ones. So storage, obviously, is one that we have quite a bit of content around. And you'll notice that there's a lot of different things. There's some pictures and there's also some actual storage frames. So for instance, if you want to have one of these things and put it into your drawing, you simply tap on it and hold it with your finger. You'll see that the one I picked is the one that's blue highlighted there. And then simply drag it up onto the screen. And then tap it again to select it. And then pinch. And you can make it pretty big. If there's another piece that you want in there, you can simply go back to your icons. And you can simply pick another one. We'll pick this guy here, and then select that, and you can make it big as well. So you can you can change the size. It doesn't appear that you can change the text behind them though. So the text is in there. If you need it to say anything else, you'll have to put something around it. But that kind of gives you an idea about how to pick things and then how to bring them up onto the screen. So you just tap the item to highlight it blue. Hold down your finger and then just drag it up to the top. Okay. So the next area though is really where I think the coolness is. I'm gonna clear the screen real quick. This area is kind of the areas where we have predefined solutions built for us for various genres, industries, whatever, platforms. So we can do categories. So we have categories that are like things like data protection and storage. Cloud, and you simply just swipe your finger across the screen left or right and you scroll through these areas. So we'll look at storage real quick to see what kind of options we have there. So in the storage area, you'll see we have some big data stuff, some file pool policy type stuff, VNX with extreme SF. We have some simplicity storage architectures, which is kind of neat. So obviously pre-built, but they also look very, very good. Let's take a look at data protection. So in data protection, obviously we're going to be talking about backup and recovery and replication type technologies. So we have some archiving pictures, some high availability pictures. We also have some things based on specific use cases. So there's some recover points, some rep manager stuff, backup for virtualized environments. So a lot of a good kind of use case based material that you can use to then kind of build off of after the fact. So we'll look at cloud. That's interesting. So general cloud oriented slides, a little high level, but you'll see things like self-service portal with Viper, which is neat to see, as well as some lifecycle things in there. So again, more stuff. Let's look at industries though. Healthcare and life sciences, which is one I was surprised to see, but also has some great content in it. So in the healthcare area, we have designs around the Cerner architecture, as well as Epic, Meditech, McKesson, some generic kind of imaging things. Epic diagram looks great, as well as I like the McKesson one as well. So those are some interesting ones. Oops, let me go back here. So we'll look at platforms. So we have some application kind of use case things. So SAP is a good one. So you see fast VP for SAP on SIM, some recover point use cases for SAP. We also have some other things like vPlex Metro for SAP using Oracle RAC, which is kind of cool to see, as well as SAP HANA for private cloud. Let's take a look at our Oracle one. So Oracle, we have some backup and recovery things for Oracle specific, continuous availability with Oracle using things like vplex and creating active-active database architectures. For Microsoft, we probably have, we have some Exchange DAG availability groups, which is kind of cool. Some SharePoint collaboration type designs, as well as some SQL Server kind of clustered storage designs, as well as traditional and private cloud type things. So the idea here is that you can use these as kind of your baseline build outs for things that customers are maybe looking to do. You can really get in quickly and start building out an architecture, customize it for their needs, and then be able to then get that drawing back into something that you can build into a presentation or something like that. So here's one with VSpecs. So we'll take a look at the VSpecs one just as one to take a look at here. But you'll see in this one a combination of the tools that have been picked, as well as just some freeform line drawing in the areas of things like synchronization and the lines going across here. But we can also do things like we can change some of these words around. We can change where they're positioned. All these pieces are dynamic blocks, so I can take these and move this down here. I can make this bigger if I choose to. I can move it around at will. So I have some control over kind of the look and the feel of this proposal, and even be able to add my own things in here if I decided I wanted to add in let's take a look at a partner. So let's say that this is going to be an Oracle design. I'm going to drop in the Oracle logo into my diagram here, and then I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. So I'm going to use that and kind of put this down here to kind of brand it a little bit. Looks pretty good. And once I'm done with this, I can save it. It will be saved into a folder. If you go back to the kind of the solutions area, you'll see down here at the bottom in this area right here, you'll see that we have this folder, a plus sign, and kind of some other things. If you go to folder, you'll have the drawings that we have in here. So there's the one I had, the blank ones that I have, and also the one that I'm currently working on. Also, kick me out. Also, if you go in here, you'll see the featured ones. So these are some featured things that the app already has pre-built on it. So there are various use cases, but some of these we've seen before. So just some things that they updated. And then if you want to add a drawing, basically you start off with a brand new drawing from scratch. So it kind of gives you an overview. Once you have a drawing that you want to use, let's go back here. We'll pick the one that we were working on right here. Pick that guy. And if I wanted to then do something else with this, let's say I wanted to email it to myself, so I could then build it into a presentation or even email it to the customer. You can certainly do that right from here. You can save it as a template. When you do send an email, I thought it was interesting. What you get is actually pretty nice looking. It comes in as a PDF document. Let's see if I can find it here. That's not it. Oh, here it is. Yeah. So when you see it, when it comes in via email, this is one I did for Recover Point. When this comes in as an email, it's basically just a big PDF document. You can then take it, kind of cut it out of here, and then drop it into a PowerPoint if you need to or whatever. But it's exactly basically as you built it, and what you see on the screen is what you get. So that's a quick demo of the EMC Architect diagramming tool. I think it's really cool. It's useful. I didn't know it existed, but hopefully this has been useful. If so, great. Thank you. I appreciate the time. As always, you can reach me at my blog, which is FlushingCache.com, where this video will be posted, as well as on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/FlushingCache. You can also follow me on Twitter at FlushingCache. And thank you for the time. And I hope this tool is useful for you.